Traveling can be costly, but my guest now is travel content creator Toni-Ann McKenzie, who's traveled to over 10 countries worldwide, and she has a few pointers on how you can also experience the same thing without breaking the bank. Toni-Ann, good morning. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. How you do?
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. Are you back out there in the world now that COVID is... Well, no, actually COVID is still here, but I know COVID had put a halt on your traveling for a little while. Are you heading back out now?
Later this year.
Okay. Where are you headed later this year?
I can't say right now.
Okay. All right, so let's...
It's confidential until, everything is booked.
Gotcha. So at Travel with Toni-Ann is your handle, and you've been documenting your journeys. I know you're a yellow content creator. Tell me how all of this started, because you actually have a full-time job, but traveling apparently was a part of your life when you were growing up, and then you just became intentional about it when you were grown up. So tell me how it started.
All right, so it started because of my love for photography and history. I really loved photography. So my first location would have been Cuba, where I went and I got, nice footage of, the architecture, the whole history, everything. So it's a mixture of the love of photography and the love of history. And I just fell in love.
Cuba was supposed to be a girls' trip. It didn't turn out to be a girls' trip, so you went by yourself.
No, I went by myself.
And you had an amazing time. Where in Cuba did you go to?
I went to Havana. That's where I stayed, and I went there by myself. It was safe. It was wonderful. The people were nice. The food was nice. I just had an amazing time.
Cuba is so lovely. I mean, it's somewhere I've been. I would love to go again. When you go in again, you tell me.
Me too. I'm going shortly.
What? See? Let me know when, sister. I'll hook up and we can call it a thing. Okay, so 10 countries so far. How do you decide where you want to go to next? What factors into your decisions?
Cost, obviously.
Yeah.
If it requires a visa, and any historic site that the place has to offer.
Okay.
So those are the main things I use to choose my location.
So you say we can do this without breaking the bank, Toni-Ann, and you now are going to share with us how to do that. Talk us through some tips. As somebody who works in the financial services industry, I think you know a bit about, saving and spending and tips and tricks to getting this done. But sacrifice, you say, is the first one. Tell me about that.
All right. So, sometimes we like to spend a lot on things that we don't necessarily need or want. So one thing I say is to anyone is just to make a sacrifice in what you want to give up. So do you have to buy a brand new vehicle? If you have a vehicle that's running, it's not leaving you on the road, you can keep it for a couple of years, if it means probably living at home with your parents to save some money, then you can do that as well, So it's what you're willing to sacrifice. Do you have to go to that expensive party that costs $20,000, or could you put that $20,000 towards your airfare or your hotel?
Look at words being flung. All right, generate additional sources of revenue. Very important, regardless of whether you plan to travel or no. It's something we should do, but this can help towards your travel plans. Right,
yeah, additional source of income. I definitely believe that everyone should have a different source of income than their 9 to 5. So it can be in a form of, a passive income is one thing that people don't really look into. So passive income can be from investing, which I do a lot of. You can invest. There are several IPOs that would have come out. Dollar was one of them. Don't mean to call in the name, but yes, and you can make some funds from that. Fesco was one stock that did very well for me. I was able to take the gains from my Fesco and help towards my travel. Also, you have to use your talents as well. What talents do you have to generate additional income? I'm a graphic designer. I'm a photographer. I plan trips for people, so I make additional income from there,
Right.
So to subsidize my travel.
You say we should save in US dollars. That's important. Travel off season. Tell me about that.
All right, so traveling off season really requires you doing your research. So one country that I went to was Peru, and I traveled in the off season when it was a bit rainy. You're not gonna get the best shots, but it's less crowded. So I went to Machu Picchu. It was less crowded in March. So there was a little rain, but not much. So when you travel off season, you're guaranteed to get
better rates.
Airfares, right? Lower fees in accommodation and less tourists. So you have you can have a place to yourself.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
You say use a rewards card.
Yes,
helps a lot.
Yeah, that helps a lot. So I have
you don't have to tell us what kind.
Yes, I don't want to call it a name right now, but I do have one that I use, and it helps me even for the first leg, because I normally travel to the hub, which I call either Miami. If I'm going to like Central America, either Miami or Panama. Those are the two hubs that us Jamaicans we use if we're going to Central or Latin America. Very important. So it does help with my first leg there.
Okay.
So it cuts off a good amount of money, like probably a $300-400 US.
What? Then a good amount of money that? All right. So you say have a travel partner, plan trips in advance, and tell me about this Airbnb experiences now as the last point, because we have to go after this.
All right. So the Airbnb experience is something that I found to be very, very, very helpful. So what you do, you go on Airbnb, you book your tours, you find a tour that you want to use. And with that tour, you can save a lot of money. Right. So when I was in Colombia, I booked an Airbnb Experience. The host was very, very, very nice. He was just accommodating. It's one-on-one. It's very exclusive, and you save a lot of money than booking a big, experience somewhere else. So I encourage people to use Airbnb Experience.
All right. So where we find you in social, and you plan trips, like if I wanted to go on a trip, you'd plan a trip for me?
Yes. You just reach out to travel with Toni-Ann at gmail.com. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on TikTok. So that's where you'll find me.
Okay. I'll hook you up, girl. Thank you so much. Travel content creator, Toni-Ann McKenzie with us this morning. Something to smile about will have us leaping into the weekend like Toni-Ann leaps into different countries. We will be right back with that.